Thank you so much. Looks amazing. Something that the little ones and the immature adults will love as well. I'm speaking to you guys right now, the adults I mean. Babies have thousands of growing taste buds in their mouths, and introducing a variety of flavors and textures into your baby's diet will make for a more exciting experience. This is where you teach them about food, about taste. This is where they start to hone what their flavors are. 8 months is the window period in which babies are most receptive to new flavors and textures. So go ahead and be as adventurous as you can. Have some fun, yo. And we, of course, are going to have some fun right now with the lovely chef Chia, as she shows us how to make a snack our babies and us will probably simply love. Yes.
You just call me an immature adult.
Yes.
I watch cartoons.
Yes, I know. We all do. No, the second you have a young child, you become an immature adult because you spend your life watching
That means
cartoons.
my whole life has been an immature adult.
100% girl, and we love it. We embrace it. Isn't this just the most exciting time, especially for you being a chef?
Yes.
Thinking about activating your child's taste buds.
And you mentioned the whole 8-month thing. Introduce new flavors to your kid. Now your child is eating all these different things, and you know what happens? There's a tendency for kids to have constipation because there's so much happening in
the little system gets overloaded.
So this is the perfect snack for that because it also is high in fiber, so it really is good to make sure that they stay regular, you know? Because the last thing you want as a parent is to look at that poor little child straining away. You want to make sure that they're balanced and
they're happy and healthy.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, this is beautiful and it's really simple. Why is it so important, though, as a mom or a parent to have snacks on hand?
Because they are always hungry. That's the most important thing. They are always
hungry. Where's my
hungry.
boy? Are you listening right now, dude? Yeah.
Always. There is not a day where those mouths are still.
Yeah.
If they're not talking, they are eating.
Because
so
they move and they are playing and they are active and they are burning calories all the time and their brain is growing. They need to refuel that. I love that. Okay, so what's gone into the pot so far?
So we've got some flour that's going into these cookies, and then we also have some oat flour, in essence is literally just oats that we've just blended up. If you don't have oat flour, just take some oats, grind it up in your blender, and then you can add it into this mixture.
Beta glucan now making its way into our biscuits. Yeah, man, it's...
And then we add some baking powder, a bit of salt in there. And then we add some chia seeds, which is also another layer of that fiber that we're talking about.
Yeah, and chia seeds have been knocking on the door of the superfood group for a while now. You know? I think a lot of people have been kind of caught up in, this is one of those things, like you can soak them overnight, you can do a lot of interesting things with them, but the health benefits never ending.
Immense. And you mentioned something really important. You mentioned the brain development. So the chia seeds in there, the prune flavor that we're adding, because we're adding our purity prunes into here. So you remember I spoke about that fiber, I spoke about that making sure they balance. This is where the
prune is good for the gut. Yo, prune is good for the gut. I love it. Now, just to expand on that, and we're using the jars here, obviously, and each stage is identified by its age appropriateness. So 6 months for introducing solids, 7 months for introducing a bit more variety, and then 8 months is where the fun really starts happening, introducing texture, and then 10 months introducing more texture and preparing your child for table food. And I think a lot of people think that only comes later, but that's when the fun really kicks off. So as your baby grows, they obviously need solid foods for the necessary iron, for the nutrients they need to grow and develop during that essential stage. And introducing solids not only gives them the experience of new tastes and textures, but also helps to develop their teeth and their jaws, which obviously they'll need when they talk. Early childhood development is a wondrous thing, and I love the fact that food is tied into so much of it.
Exactly, and that's the good thing to know, that you've got products like Purity that actually have your back in making sure that all these bases are covered with all the nutrients you need and so forth.
And of course, you can't be cooking up a treat all the time, so sometimes you need to rely on that pouch or that jar.
You do, and it's also great for that snacking. You know, before supper's ready, you want to make sure that there's something they can snack on. So this is where these snacks come in, those pouches come in. If you've got these on hand, just have them in the cupboard, and then sometimes I used to snack on them as well. I know they're made for kids, but when I also needed something on the go.
Well, the thing is, you know how pure they are, and we've sat here with Kath McGaw, one of the, I think, most respected childhood dietitians in the country, and she's been working with Purity for 5 years now to ensure that you are getting exactly that, purity.
Purity.
It is such good quality, clean ingredients going into these pouches. And these, I mean, make them as rough and ready as you want. They are part of a tactile adventure for your child
Exactly.
as much as anything else. So give them something they can hold and crunch.
And that's why I'm not shaping them up to be anything specific, because you want them to also look at it, play with it, be curious about what it is and enjoy it as well. You don't want it to be too simple and boring. You want them to ask themselves, what exactly is this? And that's the thing about making fun for kids. You keep it exciting as well.
Can you stop them from feeding it to the dog? I don't know. That's your challenge. But there you have it. Simple, easy, delicious. It is Purity's range that is not only offering that extra texture required, but also tasty varieties to test our little ones' likes and dislikes when it comes to flavors. Think about that palate that's developing and growing. And to get your hands on this particular delicious and very nutritious recipe, all you got to do is phone to me up, invite it to your house. No, we can just go to our website, expressoshow.com. In fact, that's where we house all of our culinary inspiration, all of our recipes, cook along, post pictures, especially if your baby is really dirty while eating. We absolutely love it. This is a good one. Well done.
Awesome.
I need to taste.
I hope you'll always know how much I love you. I hope that you never stop learning and growing. It all begins with Purity.